said, nah, most likely not edit the video. That's why I was trying to like start over and make it as clean and fast as possible. So the older cadres over here, from like the 70s to like the 90s, yeah, we're doing this system like this over here. What's up? And that's how we ended up with certain systems that became clunky. That then go off and become the building blocks, like the only science you could have for like modern day robotic systems. Right, that was during the age where we didn't have touchscreen systems with the ability to do cross sectional views. Yeah, no. So the beauty about cross sectional views, I'm sorry, like designing some of the systems, is that you yourself don't even have to be there to be able to, because that space is way to a prime space where you're gonna deal with edges and densities that don't have a regular measurements into it. Right. Well, that's where you apply quick shortcuts. That's where to like unique angles and systems that you're gonna learn as a sequence, and then eventually you're gonna convert that, yeah, into a language or a sequence for a program, and then from then on, yeah, with not sex box or at least with one of the few over here. That's inside the space where I have like a few entrepreneurs pushing the limit for new things on, especially like you get to see in real time where that comes from. Yeah, that's why I ride beans down space quietly without having corporate over here killing everything. Yeah, this is what it is, man. Yeah. No, corporate is in connection with the United States government with his massive debt, like a whole bunch of like corrupted white folks that like you don't want these, you don't want to hear all these dudes. Not that get rid of myself, because the stuff they connected to. Yeah, we've also kidnapping children and making them disappear and taking the money on the space, yeah. And then eventually they get to like live at like king inside their own space. Very dark in terms of things, space. Yeah, and eventually they have a couple spies inside the police network and military channels. Whatever beef was happening, I think it was in between females. I was like, yeah, because the politics makes it back into a team of fashion. Yeah, it makes it into a team of fashion. Yeah, it always makes it into a team of fashion, because it's way to how you feel, whether or not you're vibrant, you're happy, you're in the mood, or depending on the type of message that you want to go off and spread specific on stuff, or what it's related to as an image. Is it related to being a rebellious? Immediately you want to find out inside the domain of like a libertarian stuff that's into like democracies. People don't want to be controlled. Yeah, so once it makes it to have a team of fashion because it sounds proper. For some of the females, I got like a mad simps and males. No, I just tell it like it is. I tell the chick over here that the world doesn't spin that way, and then I got wars going on over here. I just got people bombed to death. Yes, I don't have time for like stuff around the space here. Cause, every hour you spend doing nothing on the space side is another hour where there's like an angle somewhere that's under pressure. Yeah, that's getting bombarded and killed on the space here, just to make sure that whatever structure is behind it can somewhat be sustained. All right. No, I tell them to chase after the fashion because that's part of the evolution within a space here that's free. Yeah, that then led to like this system, cross-sectional views, evolutions. Yeah, such as this space here. That's where they got the format, he, she, them, and like stuff that's way to like being proper and respecting other people from different races on that space here. So like this space here could not just turn into a censored, ban, delete, and then the guy's business over here. It's just a whole bunch of like wasted electricity on him having to go off. Yeah, him having to go off for like somewhat wasting money on servers for like information that he has to go off and delete because of the fact that yeah, everything in there is unattractive towards the main brainiac population over here that won't be on that space. So that's why you have mods that delete things, and then actually the mods themselves are like a part of a fashion system because they make clean money on the space. and like they live amongst the city as like a metro coupe or like even they're like almost metro. Just because of the type of office they're in, that's why to like being in front of a computer, so they relax around the space. And then based off politics, I think that's why to black versus white immigration, other things in there. What's up? You're gonna find on the side of the fashion, based on who the customers are and who supports them. So if the customers are like a whole bunch of like brown kids that support Dior, all of a sudden they support Dior. Yeah, now they're part of the Dior message board. Like 70% of the population that go up and put input about Dior, then they're part of the new trend of the fashion. Yeah, over others. That's all. Now they adjust on the special, and that's why I told you that Mrs. What's the name of it, fell for the trap, or like artificial systems that are maintained by slaves that then go off and be maintained by the few over. Yeah, that are like giantess inside of the system itself as like a big system over. That's what I was saying. You know, the dude that designed the system, like the father of Matrix over, can go off like somewhat camouflage inside of a corporate group over, that they will add spaces on like news. Yeah, that's way to like his own commercial space. The way you have influencers, the influencers that are like broke or like that are a drug debt or whatever it was. That's what. Yeah, because believe it or not, influencers is part of the gang life too. What's up? It's an evolution of it. Yeah, for stuff that's way to like back doors and the things on the special. Right. No, because the influencers themselves are like little inbred slaves. They serve for like different companies and groups that are part of the fashion line. Or luxury for like certain states. Yeah, that exists as a state, as a group. So if the king has a winery and a stable for his horses or so, yeah, so he has the mean of production, a factory for something that's way to a luxury, a kind of domain of science. Yeah, that they were observing material or like biologies, turning into like what's the name for yeast or something like that. So he studied a field of chemistry, that then makes it back into a field of art and medicine. Because of the fact that it's proper on a special art, yeah, then he get to give a feedback within the male luxury within the real estate system and dual systems and other things on the special art. Right. Well, it was that property over here. Yeah, that led to the group over here. So that go off and like someone be able to control the messages on the special art. Yeah, with a few of the actors that maintain their own system that they keep wealthy and rich. Yeah. No, the way you detect some of them would be in the field. That's way to like philosophies on the special art. Yeah, so this will be your system admin that you're gonna see in real time, but you didn't know they were big people. Yeah, because of the fact that you're not educated on the special art, so you know that was your security state communicating with you in real time, and then telling you that they were bigger people that are part of bigger violence and criminal clans than you over, and they organize underneath a system that acts like a machine to go off and like someone move money around the special art so they could position themselves at any angle, and then someone detonate the political talks whenever they want into stuff that's at mad dumb, and then take over the fashion system, and then from then on corrupt the mindset on the special art. So it's up to you over there to have a unique mind, a unique system. Yeah, to be able to survive that system itself, because you're gonna get eaten up in that space here. Then again, they already told you that they're ready to blow up nukes in front of babies, including their own kids. That's your competition over here inside the stock market. 5 cents per hour labor while being physically trapped inside of a room, and there's no escape for you. You get to live that boring life. To just go off and do 5 cents of labor, and then come back in that space here until you die, and then they collect your stuff and they replace you with somebody else that's like a younger person. Yeah, with a disability or problem, all that stuff like that. So I said Electric City, cross-sectional views, demolish old Electric City. Yeah, so electricity got revamped after an update. And that's why to like the type of workspace that electricity could have access to due to like more data and more information being inputted inside that space here. So now once electricity got that new update over, which is this visually, it allowed it to go off and create new algorithm and new system to be able to build itself really fast. And revamp around the space here just because of the fact that yeah, that one update that we received toward the 20th century, the computer simulation to do nicely organized mathematical estimations, so the estimations were accurate on the space here, and they retrieve from then on. Depending on your estimation, how you fold the space and what you do specifically, you'll be able to apply it into a machine system that follows sequences in a certain way, and then do that calculation around the space here. So that's old dead system that still exists in this timeline because of how cheap it is, and that's Mr. I'm your boss over here, everything, because you don't want your stuff to catch on fire. No, the reason why I don't like these white dudes here, I'm sorry, because all these dudes here are like looking to ways to make money, and they're already inside the field. Selling things illegally, and especially meanwhile me over there is coming to with a fresh company and a fresh idea and a fresh system that's based off a new methodology and new system. Yeah, that's a chance to go off like become like a tech like some of this system over there. What's up? I make my billions of dollars on the side. Immediately has a group of fathers and mothers inside the system over there that are so selfish and narcissistic that they found one dude over there that used to serve under them to then go off and like rob them or eat stuff with them, and then eventually feed their own kids. Yeah, while telling my own children over here from my family over here, fuck them in the face. Yeah, so I got lucky into my things special and that, I had the wits to survive, and like even lockdown had like a one jealousy into like one group that secretly snuck through to my car over here, who go off and jump into my affairs and then complain that I got this on my phone over here. No, that's them over there making fun of me, because I told you the group itself will walk around because nobody supervises them. So they had a unique system that's way to like making your ears hurt with like frequencies and stuff like that, and they do it intentionally. So that goes to show you how far. Like, again, my dude, I tell you, don't get provoked by this thing over here. So let it die into my thing especially. And let me be known over here as a black dude over here that is somewhat stealing from, and I gave it the death penalty a long time ago for violating my privacy and disrespecting me that hard without ever knowing me ahead of time. Yeah, the injustice that's caused them led me to go off and say that destruction to the entire group of what's up, man, don't support them, and continue living a good life, especially. Eventually, that thing will go off and even copy that because of how fucking dumb it is. So I go the other way, man. No, because anything that even my pornography, so it tried to go off and use that as like a weapon into my offense special. So yeah, as a vulnerability that I thought you could exploit on the special. Just because of the fact that if I found this, inside my phone while it's randomly skimming around, and then it went back to like find random females that hate pornography or the females that are like skimpy, to then go off and create a topic about how we should ban pornography, all that stuff like that. They found crazy ass females and dudes that they know. Yeah, didn't know that laws like this were established on the special, because there's nothing that the military and law enforcement could have done with a population that get drunk and won't go out and have their sex on the special. Yeah, so especially like the East Coast over here. Yeah, the modern day eras, laws and system that's way to like civilization. Also, not that stuff that they believe into. That would try. I was like, what the? I was like, really? You're bringing back religion to go off and like somewhat use the digital system over here to trace who's watching pornography, put a tracker on them, and install viruses on the computers, and they go off and like somewhat give the digital information that's supposed to be private of the individual to like random crazies that will go off and like pretend that they're chasing after predators, and that's stupid. That's all. That's like, yo, why would you do that? That's like a big ass compromise inside of a system that will then lead you to get sued and lose money around the space. And then I get to hear Rand Paul go off and complain. Yeah, about money the depth on the special. Maybe your crazy software should not go off and like find crazy people to be inside of a system that's sensitive with people's information, and then intentionally go off and like abuse that system for monetary gain and punishing the individuals without ever seeing a proper judgment on the special. Yeah, they did their own thing. So I said, no. So I had to point this out of you. What's up? That's for the non-believers, right? Into how easy it is to go off and like break down information that's complex nowadays. What's up? As long as you want to complete your basic understanding of basic systems, and you understand the flow of the machine system. So now you can go down and break down complex information that will take you like maybe a week, a month, or years to go off and like learn accumulatively if you're doing mathematics or assemble. Yeah, so if you needed your quick refresher or your advanced studies on a special, you're able to use that system to break down the information and then guide you towards the path where they have the material in the system itself to go off and like get information about that data and that information it is that you're seeking, and then someone morph it back into your brain, and then you understand it on the special, so you become smarter and quicker. Yeah, because apparently not too many people knows this or yeah, it takes somebody to know our complexity to be able to break down the question like that and get an answer out of it. Explain each probability and coefficients combination that allows you to quickly estimate the type of sequences and transformations you'll get out of this function, as if it was a polynomial combination on the right. You notice I gave it a reference. Yeah, so apparently I don't just come in there without a reference. I mean, I'm knowledgeable about certain things over here. What's up? And I use that reference with that new machine system to go up and expand my intelligence very easily, on the special. Yeah, and then from that new methodology, quick picture around the special and the concept that I have around up, go off and create a program on the system. Yeah, and then somewhat run it on the special. As simple as that, man. You start morphing things. Yeah, and then from then on, you carefully study the statistical probability on a certain magnitude to make sure that you have an accuracy that meets the mathematical domain. Yeah, of truth. Not one that is flawed, clunky. That's way to eyeball stuff. No, because ironically, that symbol itself. Yeah, that symbol itself derived from like industrial age, where they were relying on like oil and mechanical systems. Yeah, that was during the train age area, if the windmills outside the boats. Yeah, that was during this time area, where they did steamboats. Get me from point A to point B. I don't care what type of stuff is filming on, especially. Do you have something that's better? Yeah, so that symbol derived of like for analog computer system that they had to go off and develop. Yeah, of metal itself with like welders, and a system that go off and move things, which was water and steam back then. Was up. Right, so that's where you had your earliest version. Yeah, oh that symbol over there, Mister. Yeah, Mister Omega Alpha YZ over there. No, so I have so many things to remember, including my alphabets, and then I try to go down. I also remember the Greek ones, because they make it back and forth side the engineering circle. Yeah, and they ever try to like break it down into different spaces, like what you represent inside that field of physics. Sorry, if it's mechanical engineering, if it's like thermal engineering, if it's like electrical engineering, if it's like atomic engineering, it's like all sorts of engineering on the space of that. Yeah, because you're gonna find the symbols represent on the space. All right, so yeah, Mr. Sigma over here. That was meant for like clocks, the things that rotate around the space here. No, because most people don't record it as Sigma. Always from, what was its purpose initially? Yeah, how they build the timers on the space here. Initially. Because eventually that's what give you your space here to go off and create your logic for like a system that like a property of a circle. Sinusoidals, like a square, even the square over here, they don't believe it has a property of a circle until you put. I don't know, man. I don't know what they do with geometry. Yeah, so right. Kudos to my brothers over here. I hope you make it past this hellscape over here. To enjoy your journey, man. Yep. So I said, that was usually your counters over here to go off and create your system for like a clock, a rotation within a cycle for frequency on the space. Yeah, I told her I'm primal over here. I'm primal. Yeah, but somebody tried to go off and see if they could use science on the worst edge to go off and see if they could get me to like flip out and go crazy. Why that potential with them? I was like, nah, I ignored them. I told them I was smarter. Yeah, I described everything they were doing. I called them stupid, and I told them later on, if you keep on doing that shit over here, I said once I catch you in that course, you're dead. Right, I give you so many warnings. I told you to back off or something, and I tell you stop fucking using me over here as a free ride for like shit that's like mad dumb, especially for hoes that you see on the news over here that you don't go off and holler at all that shit from the top. Myself, no, I tell you death to that nigga over here. Myself, that dude over here who poisoned the entire hotel and the hotel itself to go off and impress female news reporter for fame or like female singers or actors. Oh, disgusting, bro. Thinking about how that dude will go for poison the entire space. Right, so that's how they did the cycle and the system back then, and the Sigma over here. Sigma, the Sigma over here. What's up? No, nowadays this is what Sigma looks like. Yeah. No, this is what Sigma look like. What's up? Yeah, like your while loop, your loops. What's up? This is what Sigma actually is. That's how they made them computer science. No, because most of them do that self-taught on the special. So most of them will not be inside of a space of mathematics. Where like Sigma itself was part of a geometric sequence where that's supposed to count at what particular time or frequency that corner or that vertex where yeah will go off and find its way back at the same position on the special and be able to like somewhat count it as a clock. Yeah, for a sequence itself, depending on like things that's related to cooking, things that's related to like measuring heat, or other things around the space as well. So they turn that logic, yeah, into a domain of computer science that just looks like that. Yeah, so mathematically, most people don't know what that looks like, what it is. So, yeah, even though it's right on phone. So, right. So I said by the end of the day, with that new foundation of methodology and systems, and like knowing your way around to navigate myself, you're able to break down complex things that you cannot understand into smaller, simple things that you can go off and quickly absorb, mix out on the special. In my case, my system is not complete because I don't have my other computer systems to go off on someone omit the words or pictures around the space. I only grab information that I want very quickly, and then reassemble it back into a space that's going to be my workspace here, where it goes up and put and assemble some of these images or some of these information that I want very quickly to be able to quickly create a mold of a system. No, because most people couldn't understand what my vision was. So I tried to tell them that the minute you get to redesign a system for internally or revise it back, you get a permanent technology and system Yeah, each wave after wave, yeah, will always be worth a lot of money on, especially like I said, they couldn't see my vision or what that power, what I felt like to be able to someone to take my mind over here and go off and write something on a piece of paper, and then all of a sudden it turns into like yeah, it turned into like a invisible flying car, or maybe you could get like yeah, your own army, a robotic system that's invisible that provides security for you. It's like your bulletproof car. Yeah. Well, that's how I saw my car over here, being bulletproof, flying, and being invisible. As I have a group of like invisible robots in there that could sense and detect motions and weapons on the special, and then they communicate with me. Yeah, to this system over here that I want to assemble and design. Since 2020, H32. That was my evolution, and I chase after it. Yeah, material science and engineering on a $3,000 budget. It's out of a space where I got like a random losers that's attending my universities and they're making it back into the workspace for like a big corporate. They assume that they're, I don't know, man. I tried to know the group of them, and I told them that you'll never be above me because it's on my own system. You violate the law itself. So the whatever is a skill of it, that's way to like, what if I'm like, yo, every hotel you go to, you're gonna find a sex worker or a drug addict. It's a spa. It's like a complementary to like the crack addiction, the crack life, the fashion style of it. That's way to like dudes open up their clubs, go out to like start a band, and they travel. They go on the road and they hit one circle show to the next, and they make their stay inside of a hotel on the special, and then they go from one town to the next on the special, and then somewhere over it spill into fashion and spill into a domain that go off on someone inspired, grandiose, or like set building and stages and especially. Yeah, so you're fighting Magic City over here. I'm complaining my ears about Magic City and the prostitutes and the chicks over here that go off and be like Tina Turner, that will go off and chase after a rock band on the special side, and then becomes a groupie, and then eventually they're groupies and the girlfriend over here. They let them go off and like chase after a romance life for like the dude over here. That's like the founder of like the mining group over here. Yeah, so someone she gonna find a boyfriend on the side of him that's gonna satisfy her need for money on behalf of the boyfriend of him that's gonna satisfy her need for like a stage where she could fly and sound like she's a goddess and some of things specific. So yeah, so I got a group of it complaining about things that I got no control over that I don't care for myself. The only thing I care about is obtaining my private workspace with him. That's all I wanted myself since like 5 years ago, since 2026. I left San Diego, California, just so I could go off and find that one spot. Yeah, so I don't have to go back inside my family house with myself or own a house or something. Just a spot somewhere that's private. Yeah. No, initially I told the hotel it was like private. I didn't think that all of them would go off and fall for a virus. That's way to like almost like the dude we're selling the drones. Yeah, there's the influence. That's way to making that money on the special. And then the hackers of the groups here will go off and install hidden cameras and the flood security that spies on people, including their bank account, all that stuff like that. So that's what they use as a business for survival, and they collapsed the entire fucking 90s shit. And then eventually they grabbed the other niggas by the balls and then became the bosses on the special. It's already too late. They fucked up their lives. So these niggas are in prison, all sorts of shit from the top. So the main fucking evil techno lord over here. What's up? That's his tiny friend. His fucking glasses fucked them up. Yeah, I was like an ambitious fucking dark Vader lord over here. What's up? If in a corporate domain where like heroin and cocaine are very heavy into morphine space and what's up. No, because they deal with the heavy set killers from different paramilitary group that go off and have that lazy eye on the special. Yeah, there's a group of killers that they just employ to this center for like suicide mission that are heavy with like heavy equipment and stuff like sometimes stuff that's way to like, hey, yeah, can you go off and purge this entire town over here? We need men to go off and carry out a mission to kill everybody here. So the information does not leak out of the space around. So they send the heavies that go off and do that dirty deed for them, including killing children. I'm purging everything on the special for like the corporate group XYZ on the special. So these are like their bodyguards or some of the dudes, some of the dogs over here that they hang out with that are like heavy into morphing special and stuff. And then on the side over here, they are the heavy female soldier over here that you're gonna find in certain spaces and what's up. Yeah, no, I said by the end of the day, I don't know, man. I said that's all I was taking out on, especially freaking chill. Yeah, and just go off and like maintain one apartment or like a hotel room, and then get out once in a while to go off and eat in the bars and the clubs, and then go about my affairs and resume back my duty over here. To then go off and build my technology proficiency, and especially in my systems. Because most people that are dumb assume that this thing over here is built off of like one company. They don't know that these things over here are built off multiple companies and groups, and like the main company that's running that system and stuff or that society actually depend on the system of society that coexist all at once. But that's part of the field. A proper machine system. There's other things around, especially that do for the highest end is the government system. And then you have the luxury of the government over here into like things that's like way to spaces where they don't want people, other than their own government official, to know what they do, how they live their lifestyle, on the special. So they have their own unique society with their own unique laws and system. The same way that we build the United States here, or each states as a republic. Yeah, because you don't know his Sam over there has his own custom that he wanted to retain to go off and like carry off his cowboy boots and his belt and his gun around, especially while he had a new population telling him to like get rid of his boots and his gun, and then go off and like wear a suit over here that look like he's a Teletubby, and then somewhat submit to a dude over here that just want to go off and like build human beings as if they're vegetation on the special side. Yeah. So they were like, yo, that's too much heat for all of us. So then we're gonna create buffers, like we're gonna create spaces for each other, and then you're gonna be over there, we're in your own country or your own state. I'm gonna be over there in my own country or my own state, and then in between us, there's the highway that we call the federal government that connects us to like things that we need, especially so we don't go off and go into fighting into like who's ruling the rules and regulations, this stuff. So you have your own special team of federal people that run special federal spaces with special resources that others wish they had. So the federal government get to see on its own wealth. That's what you call resources, not money that it prints. That's how. Resources that it get to hang on to, like land that it protects, or spaces that nobody will go off and navigate around. They pass it off to the federal government. You didn't hit enlightenment, so you can figure out that these rocks over here could be turned into I don't know, these lights. So the government is gonna hold on to that until you finally show up and you tell them like, yo, you transfer that into these lights over here, and I could go off and like generate this thing for you. I'll let you to go off and create this project with like this unique power, this unique team, and then the government goes off and like free up the space on that. That's how they get the power on the space on. Yeah, being early investors of like resources or things being the signal, so and then makes it back into a private space. All right. So I said by the end of the day, that's all I ever wanted, right? That desk and my equipment, and then be in there quietly, building my systems, and publishing my work with them as I collect my checks. And then once in a while I disappear. Yeah, staying in shape, my 12-pack abs, and then I go disappear. Especially go have to enjoy the finest thing of life. I said, don't ask questions. I don't know you, nigga. I said, I'm invisible. That's my team over. I trust invisibility. Yeah, only to have the dumbest white trolls or the dumbest black trolls inside the United States Navy. Whatever variation they are, so they come in multi different colors, like Hispanic, Asians, whites, and blacks. I was like, where the fuck they get these black folks from? I was like, nigga, you can't be that stupid. Yeah, I told you all your black brother over here that this was blue language fucking building invisible fucking technology and systems. Yeah, if I tell you that white nigga behind you is fucking stupid, this is why this is the sequence that he follows around, especially. You see that he's selling switches and guns and Glocks illegally on the special, and then he's advertising that he's selling drones, whatever new technology that he's developing himself. He goes off and he tries to find a way to go off and sell it as a criminal tool over new system to go off and like somewhat pollute and troll others just to go off and get his money. He doesn't care whether or not you bought his gun. All he cares about is his money on the special. And then by the time you're done with it, whatever you do with that gun, that's up to you, into more, especially whether or not you want to come into a mass shooting, a civil warfare on the special. That dude has his money on the special. Yeah, but at the same time, the shit that he does is so illegal amongst his own, disgusting. It's taboo. The minute they catch him, yeah, they throw him into the dungeon for life, into more fun. Then he enters a life of depression, where he's just have a dark space. Yeah, behind bars around the special. Yeah. No, I have some problems on the special. It's just that they fucked up my prison system. Yeah, by putting white supremacists and a whole bunch of dumbasses in charge. The prison system that they try to reform, they try to make the prison system like regular buildings like these. Yeah, where they just put the prisoner in there to go and live their life. But old dude, we try to go off and like demolish that make prison like a biological warfare system over here that then lead to a burnout of a civilization, a crash, that then lead to warfare on the special. Right. No, my dude, it ain't whether or not you're a good law-abiding citizen. So the question is like, at what particular time will you go off and be forced to commit a crime psychologically inside of a population or a system? Yeah, that violates every rule, spies on everybody, and then goes off on like committing to like purging populations that they deem stupid or like too low, their income is too low, especially so now you can replace them for a new group of it that's producing children that could go off and do things faster on especially and then bring in a new economy on especially so go off and push the button and purge everybody inside these hotel rooms or what's that, purge them, gas them to death, and then quickly replace them. Take all this stuff and I go off and recreate the simulation into a different story, a different team. I see where we go with that until we have to purge the new group over. What's up? Yeah, I said the shit I inherited as a millennial is like so ugly into my things special. What's up? Yeah, spying inside people's phone to go off and like monetize the individuals. They're not, my dude, again, the way I described it, woman over here is minding her own business, and then broke ass con over here that's selling drones to like the prison or like Glocks, illegal switches or the special for to make his money. He's always selling things over here. That's way to like stealing catalyst converters while he goes off on promo gore sites and the death and rape of certain females or something. He enjoys fun and shit that's way to like fucking up females and making them poor on especially just so he could go off and pull them in if he's corrupted money and then go off and like humiliate them and kill them in the process and send them off to like different spaces. Yeah. No, so the difference between me and that boy over here is that I don't view the female as a female. So I view the female as a pair of a species that you call humanity itself. So I don't just look at her. I look at him and her as a pair itself. So by the time you call and tell me shit about females, I'm like, yo, what about him? They're both human beings. So at one particular point, they process information the same way. Especially don't matter biology that puts her at work for like 7 months because of the fact that she processes her life from birth on especially, and then that damages her body over time. Yeah, it's a very, very different group to my special. So, you know, a woman over here go off on my own business with a family, and then random dude over here that's a con that's hungry for money. We randomly go off and like invade her phone, and then go off and like send his group with cameras to then wrap around the person, and then claim a false story that this person over here is a spy working for like Delaware. And then that person is out there to go off and cause havoc on the specialist, and I have the right to go off and film that person and monetize that person. So they follow that person 24/7 for like years in and years out because of the fact that they generate content off a lie or like we're randomly invading somebody's life, and then aggressively following the person on the specialist to go off and stream the person for money on the specialist. That's what happened to me on the specialist. It just so happened that I'm a unique individual that work on an event system, a lot of military history on the specialist. So that shit's spun out of control because I have like so many military niggas around the space. Yeah, military hosts and all that stuff full of talk. Most like veterans and all that shit full of talk. So you know it's spun out of control because the teams that I'm on over here is way to like security for yourself, and then also you have people that are in the field that are looking for like better system to go off and kill or like get somebody or like go off and sabotage somebody, plant a bomb underneath the car. Yeah, all this team over here fall back into my domain of science, where I do for electrical engineering, mechanical science, and computer programming into a new wave, a new phase, a new modification, something that's new, exotic. And then coincidentally, they didn't even get my permission to be inside my workshop over here. So they literally invade my space by force, by sending a whole bunch of people that they sacrifice to intentionally go off and stalk and follow you around the space, and then eventually they call law enforcement to protect them, just in case you might go off and attack them around the space, to kill you very quickly, on the space. Yeah, that's the type of piece of shit government that I inherited from the year 2020 when I built that company till today. Yeah, don't flee, don't associate with it, man. They didn't vote this election. I told you death to these people for doing that type of life to my future children in America. What's up, man? I see the entire fucking space. Yeah, and the people that caused that to fucking be in the field by a chain. You drag them to a chain inside mindful of them and let them walk on all four throughout that space. Yeah, the same way they did in Batman, the movie area, where they brought all the people from the city area and they sent them off to walk on the ice. Yeah, that's the type of film that these people really wanted to create with me. They discuss it, man.